Something massive just shook the palace walls. But no one's talking, not officially at least. According to leaked whispers from the inside, the House of Lords has reportedly gone into a top-secret emergency meeting. Yes, who's? At the center of the storm, Harry and Meghan. No more subtle jabs, no more royal niceties. This is war, a full-blown royal takedown. Behind those age-old castle doors, Britain's highest-ranking power players are allegedly deciding whether to wipe away every single title the Sussexes still hold.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us.
It's so funny too that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
Every ounce of privilege, every remaining shred of royal recognition, it might be gone, permanently, irreversibly. Insiders claim the decision hit out of nowhere like a thunderclap, and when Meghan heard, she allegedly collapsed in sheer disbelief. Inside their camp, it's chaos aides panicking, phones lighting up, lawyers scrambling to contain the fallout. But London's message, crystal clear. This is the end. No more passes. No more immunity under the royal name. After years of explosive interviews, hidden money trails, and whisper campaigns, the Crown has reportedly said, enough. Not just about whether Harry and Meghan can recover politically, it's about whether they can recover at all. Section 1. The royal guillotine has returned.
Funny, I actually watched the entire episode and I was howling laughing. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I think it really encapsulates how many Americans are feeling. The episode was very clever in the sense that they call them in the time since, in the years since, they've done everything to prove the opposite. You know, they can't seem to get enough of media attention. I don't think people understand even Harry's book that's been released is part of a multi-book deal, right? You know, how many people leave their family and record themselves on the plane the entire...
They're calling it the royal guillotine. It's a chilling throwback to history, the kind whispered only in the darkest corners of the monarchy's past. Sources say the House of Lords has resurrected long-buried constitutional weapons, relics, of power not touched in generations. And this time, the target is locked: Harry and Meghan. Whispers from within the chamber suggest a ruthless debate is unfolding, not just about removing the Sussex name from the royal record, but about erasing it permanently. No silence, no mercy. It's not a quiet fade-out, a tot, but a public, brutal wipeout of every title, every privilege, every last royal connection.
Harry and Meghan are the problem. And while we're going to go all over all the people that they've hired, just as a great reminder, the couple have hired plenty of professionals before. People at high levels who have worked for Bill Gates, Patagonia, all these sorts of things. And yet none of them have been successful. The common denominator in everything here is Harry and Meghan.
We'll see King Charles do this because I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren.
Wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles.
This isn't royal theater. It's a tectonic shift, the kind that only happens once in a generation. Not since King Edward VIII gave up his crown for love has Parliament even dared to flirt with this level of royal exile. But today, it says nothing to do with romance. It's about money trails hidden in shadows, secrets buried beneath palace walls, the royal legacy that's beginning to crack at the seams. If the insider buzz is real, then Britain's highest chamber isn't just debating policy. They're preparing to sever Harry and Meghan from the crown, entirely erasing every royal link they have left. And here's the real twist. Of the loudest voices demanding this purge, it's come from places no one expected.
There's a real delight in being able to be a present parent. And it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work. We all have a lot of stuff to do. But when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
Hello all. Sorry we're late. Our flight was delayed.
It was mint though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan,
I'm begging you to stop now.
This also follows all the stories about her bullying staff over here in the UK, which is unresolved. NDAs stopped all that stuff coming out, but she bullied people in a very unpleasant way over here.
Surprisingly, this royal firestorm wasn't sparked by drama. It was sparked by data. Sources say the real trigger behind this House of Lords showdown wasn't a headline, it was a spreadsheet. During a quiet but high-stakes royal audit, red flags started popping up. And what they allegedly uncovered? Shocking. Couture fashion billed as charity essentials. First-class upgrades masked as security expenses. Private chefs and personal stylists, all tucked neatly under official duties, all connected to Meghan's time as a working royal. The final blow. A taxpayer-funded audit that reportedly caught inconsistent expense reports and some very suspicious bookkeeping. This wasn't gossip. This was paper trail proof, and it changed everything.
I don't know about you, but I grew up with South Park, and nothing in their sites has ever been sacred. And they do have this, in my view, perfectly irreverent way of reading the room. This week, they've taken a swipe at Harry and Meghan, and it's gone.
We want privacy! We want privacy! Thanks for having us on the show. It's so awesome to be here. It's great. So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family. You've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it.
When aides confronted Meghan with the flagged expenses, she reportedly brushed it off, calling it nothing more than outdated protocol. But to the lords, steeped in centuries of tradition, it wasn't just bad paperwork, it was an insult, a direct hit to the heart of royal integrity. And make no mistake, this isn't about receipts anymore, it's about revenge. And while all eyes turned to King Charles hoping for royal intervention, he stayed silent, dead silent. Palace insiders describe it as a betrayal, not with words but with deliberate inaction. A brutal, cold calculation, who's reportedly made it clear, if the lords go in for the kill, he won't lift a finger. His silence, not weakness, but approval. Whispers from inside Buckingham say Charles is locked onto the future. And in that vision, there's no room for rogue royals, dragging the monarchy down.
Did you see my baby mama dance?
I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
Insiders say King Charles made his move without lifting a finger. By letting the House of Lords act as executioners, he kept the monarchy clean, distant, and deadly. With no royal shield left, Meghan reportedly made a desperate call, not to family, but to a friend, Tyler Perry, the same man who once gave them shelter during their escape from the monarchy. But this wasn't a casual reunion. This was a plea for help. Sources claim Meghan was begging for resources, a new home, financial backup, anything to escape the royal collapse closing in. Meanwhile, Harry, now embroiled in scandals of war, his own was cracking under pressure. One source quotes him saying, just 4 words, "I've hit my limit." And then came the whispers from Meghan's camp, veiled reminders, even subtle threats. Hints about things Perry might not. One exposed, the desperation was palpable, and it spilled from private calls into full-on legal chaos. Emails flying, lawyers scrambling, phones ringing in panic. But none of it mattered, because in the world of the British monarchy, there are no appeals. The House of Lords doesn't need the King's permission. It doesn't need public approval. It doesn't even have to warn the family. Once that vote starts, it's over. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Meghan's legal team reportedly floated an international legal challenge, claiming the proceedings were discriminatory punishment for independence, for race, for choosing a different path. But foreign diplomats shut it down hard. We do not intervene in constitutional matters involving the crown. Even Harry and Meghan's most loyal allies, they're staying out of this war. Because this isn't just personal anymore. Political, it's historical, and it's unforgiving. The very system they walked away from is now turning all of its centuries-old force back on them. And just as the couple tries to hold on to what little remains, the next blow hits even deeper. Because this time, it's about their children, Archie and Lilibet. According to explosive leaks, senior lords are now pushing for a full revocation of their royal titles. Because they don't live in the UK, they don't serve the crown, and two royal purists. They're simply American citizens with inherited power they never earned. Some are even calling it title laundering. Turning royal blood into a branding tool, fueling a multi-million-dollar empire without duty, without service. Just the benefits. Now, with scandals boiling over and taxpayer rage at a breaking point, even the children are caught in the crossfire. And the message from the establishment is clearer than ever. You don't walk away from the crown. Expect to walk away untouched. Behind the palace walls, the horror wasn't just about Meghan and Harry's actions, it was about their children's titles being used as leverage. When royal aides discovered Prince and Princess appearing in book contracts, Netflix promos, and media press releases, they weren't just embarrassed, they were furious. One insider reportedly snapped, "If they don't represent the monarchy, why are they still using the monogram?" Now, with the lords already prepping a vote to strip Meghan and Harry, whispers suggest Archie and Lilibet may be next in line for royal deletion, silent, swift, and absolute. But this isn't just a palace problem anymore. Outside Parliament, the backlash is erupting from corners the Sussexes didn't expect. Ethics, watchdogs, transparency boards, oversight committees. They've allegedly launched investigations into what they're calling the weaponization of royal bloodline for personal profit. What's under the microscope? Multi-million-dollar Netflix deals built on royal mystique. Spotify contracts framed around insider royal experience brand endorsements still tied to Duke and Duchess. Years after walking away, and these watchdogs? They're not chasing headlines, they're chasing patterns. And one financial investigator reportedly summed it up bluntly. They didn't just leave the royal family, they franchised it. Another insider didn't hold back either. They sold their status, and now they're paying for it. For a monarchy founded on silence, symbolism, and centuries of sacred ritual, turning legacy into a lifestyle brand was the line they were never supposed to cross. And if these investigations stick, we're not just talking revoked titles. We're talking a full-scale financial quarantine, quiet severing of every UK tie, protection, and privilege. But then came the final blow. The one that wasn't televised. The one that didn't need words. It started with silence. No replies, no confirmations, just absence. Then it became unmistakable. Meghan and Harry have been blacklisted. No trooping the color, no royal weddings, no Christmas walk. Not even the private Balmoral summer retreat. Nothing. They reportedly didn't even know. When a staff member reached out to confirm attendance at an upcoming event, the answer came back sharp and cold. They're no longer on the list. No apology. No apology. No explanation. Just administrative exile. The royal equivalent of being unsubscribed. From the monarchy, it wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. 'Cause in royal tradition, silence cuts deepest. Even senior palace staff were shaken. One said the bridge wasn't just burned, it was nuked. The last move wasn't social. It was historical. Palace advisors are reportedly in full damage control mode, wiping clean all non-essential. Associations executing a surgical PR strategy to protect the crown from the fallout. Because for a monarchy obsessed with image, honor, and legacy, one truth now echoes through every corridor. Tyler Perry's quiet removal. That was just the first domino. Now, insiders say the palace is conducting a deep purge, reevaluating every tie Meghan and Harry built during their breakaway era. From podcast partners and charity collaborators to private event guests and soft alliances, everything is under review. It's not about petty politics. It's about protecting the crown. Because the monarchy isn't built to survive red carpet scandals and podcast headlines. It's built on ritual, reverence, and a calculated distance from modern chaos. And so the palace is doing what it does best: isolate the threat, erase the risk, rewrite the narrative. But even that comes with a cost. And no one is feeling the blow harder than Meghan herself. Her judgment questioned, her relationships dissected. Even her parenting choices now under the cold scrutiny of the royal machine. But here's where the story turns darker than anyone expected. According to chilling leaks from deep inside Parliament, the House of Lords is preparing a motion so final, so irreversible. Even palace historians are shaken. A formal vote to erase Meghan and Harry from royal history. Not suspend, not shelve, erase, if passed. It means their official bios removed from the royal website, names and portraits excluded from future coronation material, erased from succession charts, protocol books and museum exhibits, their wedding, their royal service. Wiped from public royal record to the world. They'll remain public figures. But to the monarchy, they'll become nothing. One senior House member reportedly put it like this: they walked away, then tried to cash in. Let them stay gone. This isn't exile. It's not disgrace. It's obliteration. A surgical strike on legacy, as if they never existed in the crown's timeline. And if it happens, it won't just close their chapter. It'll bury it so deep, future generations may never even know it happened. Let's be clear. This is no longer about titles. This is about power, legacy, immortality, the kind of legacy that outlasts scandals, social media, and even bloodlines. If this secret vote goes through, Meghan and Harry won't just lose their privileges, they'll lose their place in history. No honors, no photos, no state mentions, no archives, just silence. No public statement, no interview rebuttal, no revenge tour. Just the sound of palace doors closing forever. So now ask yourself, was it worth it? And more importantly, what happens if this is only the beginning? The question isn't just what happens next. It's whether history will ever let us see it. If you want to stay ahead of the whispers, the secrets, and the royal firestorms no one's talking about, subscribe now. Hit the bell, because the next chapter might drop without warning. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. Optional add-on for increased engagement. Tell us in the comments, was this royal reset justice? Or revenge in disguise?